Hey guys, Tallara here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We managed to make it back to Haven after the crazy events that transpired in Redcliffe. We stopped Tevinter, managed to recruit the mages to our side, and made it back in one piece while successfully averting a future that would have brought nothing but death and destruction. So, all in all, I call it a good day. Before we get started on our next quest, though, which, now that we've enlisted the help of the mages, is we are going to try to close the breach, I think we need some time to debrief with our companions and talk about what the hell just happened. So let's do a little spin around Haven and talk to everyone. First person I see here is Josephine, so we can debrief with her first. Looks like she's meeting with someone.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
Yeah, I mean, it's been this way for years.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
You make it sound easy.
So if everyone listens to the chant, things will be smooth as silk?
I did say commonality is merely a beginning, but it's an important one. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
You sound too good to be true, I say, with a wink and a smile.
How did someone so lovely and selfless go into Orlesian politics, Lady Montelier?
Well, that is, really, you give
We
me...
got her flustered.
While you're here,
Mission
I
success.
do have a question. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
That's a great question. How would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
Well, here's the thing. I definitely don't want to lie about what happened. I mean, I don't know if it was Andraste. I feel like it wasn't. I'm a Kunari. It's weird for me to start claiming Andraste saved me and doing things, so I'm definitely not going to say that Andraste chose me. I'm going to say I don't claim to be holy.
I'd tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply.
Well, they can believe what they want to believe then.
A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
Thanks, Josephine. I like her. She's great. Alright, this is one person caught up with. I think I see... Oh, I thought this was Fiona in the corner, but this is Minave.
You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
I'm glad. I think we already asked her about all these questions before,
I'll speak with you later.
so we don't have anything
Thank
to
you
say right
again
now.
for what you've brought back.
I can give her the materials that we've requested, though, or we've collected.
Thank you.
So there you go. There's some more research for you. Growing our influence, slowly but surely. Now let's check in with... Oh, first this book. The Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart. Always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavor. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the desperate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can, and as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. Cool. Well, with that bit of lore in our pocket, let's check in with Vivienne.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. Of course, having all of these mages with absolutely no protocols, there are going to be some issues, you're right. But I think that Vivienne is too far one way and not giving them any trust at all. So I'll say, I can't decide whether I should just say good idea or keep them hidden. I'll just say good idea.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
It's good to see someone with an understanding of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
So you don't trust the mages?
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages.
It's not so much an opinion as grasping the obvious. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
I mean... Vishoth have no Templars.
There are no Templars among the Fashoth.
My dear, your people cut the tongues from mages they deem dangerous, just as the Kunari do. And they kill those they deem too weak to resist demons. Your people are no kinder than any other.
Okay, touche.
For those who value survival,
touche.
Is not an option.
She got me there.
Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
Oh, we're diving right back in it. So we have three options here. Mages should be free, we need mages in the Chantry, or we need the circle back. I mean, I think mages should be free. Maybe not absolute freedom, there can still be some sort of checks and balances, but much better than being ripped from their parents and forced to live in a circle their whole lives. There needs to be, as with most issues in this game, and most issues in life in general, I guess, sometimes the happy medium is the best answer to everything, right? Which is much easier said than done, of course. But the happy medium, I think, is general freedom with mages with some restrictions. And of course, it's not the perfect solution for either mage freedom or safety of the populace, but I just... Okay, so... with that big morality spiel, I'm going to say mages should be free, and Vivienne's going to disapprove.
Mages should be treated like anybody else.
With the eyes of all your fellows upon you, watching for demons, ready to cut out your tongue. How free did you feel? Paint the cage any color you like. It is still a cage. It's something to consider, my dear.
Well, fair enough, and I appreciate civil discussion. It's also very interesting to finally meet a mage who is pro-circle, because all the mages we've ever met are very much anti-circle, so I appreciate Vivienne's perspective, but it's quite clear we're going to disagree on some things, especially being a mage myself. But anywho, it's another person caught up with. We're going to continue making our rounds, so next up will be Liliana.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
I'll try my best. I need to tell you something about what happened in the apocalyptic future. I watched you die for me.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still noble.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
Oh, Liliana, she's so great. It's nice to see her a bit more chipper and cheery than the absolutely destroyed Liliana we saw in the future. Why do you care about mages?
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Can you tell me more about yourself?
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Yeah. Got any stories?
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell some good ones.
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
Shut down. Okay, well how about you tell me about your past?
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, a Norwegian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
I'd like to be a bard.
Can you teach me to be a bard?
Being a bard is so much more than being a spy. It involves a keen understanding of politics, the ebb and flow of influence, the great game. The Bards is an intricate dance where a smile can be sharper than any dagger. The best way to learn is to immerse yourself in it. Perhaps when this is all over, I'll teach you.
I like the sound of that. Alright, that's it for now.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later.
Oh, Liliana. I love her. I'm surprised that apparently being a bard requires no musical ability at all. Clearly, bard is not synonymous with a musician in Thedas. Two very different things. Anyway, here's Solus, who actually wasn't with us during the events in Redcliffe, and I bet he would have been very interested to see that post-apocalyptic future, so let's chat with him.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel? Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
No, I'm a mage, I'd know.
I've been to the Fade before. I'd know it.
Point taken. What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witness.
100%. Wait, I didn't see him there. I do not remember seeing Solus, but I really want to select this dialogue option now to see what I apparently saw, so sure, let's pick this.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest, failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't know what all these pots are doing here, but anyway, here's Dorian, who I really wanted to chat with. We have a lot to catch up on.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
You disagree?
I take it you don't agree.
On the contrary, I approve. Heartily.
Oh, didn't sound like it.
I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given Southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
So long as they're like you. No, unfortunately I know... No, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I know, Dorian's preferences for romantic partners, so there's no need for him to flirt with me. As a female, he is not going to be interested, so I'll say, no, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to flirt with him anyway. Maybe he has a thing for Kunari, and either way, I really like Dorian, so it can be some friendly flirting.
If that means they're anything like you, I approve.
Ha! There aren't many mages back home like me.
And I do mean that, too. Dorian's a good egg.
I never fit in. Bloodstains are so difficult to clean, you see.
So we're doomed to a future of blood magic, then.
Not at first. But you'd be a fool not to see where this could lead. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed. By inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, My homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
It just all leads back to that happy medium that I was talking about earlier. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
If you say so.
You certainly think highly of yourself.
It's true. I could be more modest, but I'd be lying. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
Your family's angry with you?
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
So you don't like Tevinter?
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
I like Dorian so much. He's so reasonable and he has a good worldview and he's great. Why not go back then?
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I love it. Alright, that's enough for now.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
Have you seen Alexius?
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Well, I guess we'll figure that out once the time comes. Either way, good to check in with Dorian. I realized, too, we recruited Blackwall, and we haven't actually spoke with him yet to even welcome him into the Inquisition, so that's actually where I want to go next. We'll bypass Varric for the moment, and I'm pretty sure Blackwall is down by the stables and forge. Let's go say hello to him. We've got questions for him, plus, you know, just a general welcome to the gang and all that. Let's see, I think he's over here. Yep, there he is. Hi, man. Sorry for the late welcome.
Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away.
You got a good view there.
And to actually walk out of it. To be that close.
I was lucky.
If I hadn't been saved by Inquisition soldiers, I don't know what would have happened.
Inquisition soldiers? That's not what I've heard. I have to admit, I thought you'd be...
Human?
Yes.
At least you're honest.
Being up front is better than Oxman.
It was a foolish thought. Should have known better than to say anything. It's what you do and how you do it that's important. Just one question then. How do you think you fit in with all this?
I mean, I just want peace.
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support. For me, I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers.
Alright, so there was our introduction. We also got a great close-up view of Blackwall's luscious beard. I do want to talk to him one more time, though, because I still have some more questions about him and the Grey Wardens and such.
I've heard rumors of abandoned warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look, see if there's anything we can salvage.
Okay, we can probably do that. Tell me about the Wardens.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
The Wardens? I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
Why were you traveling alone?
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while. Why were you on your own?
It's what I've always done. Recruitment only requires one man. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
So he's the recruitment man. Where have the Wardens gone?
So you have no idea where the rest of the Wardens are?
Do you find that odd? The Blight is over. We don't need an organized force. And orders don't change much from day to day. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just find Darkspawn, kill them, repeat as necessary.
Alright, fair enough.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
I'm not actually done talking, though. I have, I want to talk to you for a third time.
It's never going to be an easy answer to the mage dilemma. What you did for the mages took courage. You gave them a chance. Everyone deserves one.
Oh, I'm glad you approve. Also, still not what I wanted to talk to you about, so fourth time's the charm.
Inquisitor?
I wanted to talk about you.
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Where are you from?
Your name Blackwall doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher, then? Ferelden?
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
So you haven't passed.
I hear that many Wardens were once criminals.
You're right. And when you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
Okay, fair enough. Why'd you become a warden?
Why did you join the Wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect. We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe I could be one of them.
You weren't always a warden.
What did you do before you became a Warden?
I was a soldier, a nobody trained to wield a sword and follow orders. I grew weary of fighting over men's wars.
So you became a Warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden was the first time I felt like I mattered. The life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
Alright. Finally, that is all of my questions. I will let you go now.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
Very well.
Let's see what Iron Bull thinks of my decision to recruit the mages.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
Yes. Don't worry, I'll protect you.
If you're worried about magic, I can protect you.
My blade pretty much protects me.
Perhaps I can do things your blade can't.
I don't know. It has blood grooves. Well, technically it's the Fuller, but blood grooves sound so much more violent. Anyway.
Wow, he is really not getting what I'm laying down, is he?
Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Flirt failed. Thanks, Bull. Alright, now to check in with Cassandra. Looks like she's having a chat with someone.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
That's the truth.
You don't need to tell me that.
I just don't know who told them I'm the one to yell at.
Is it that bad?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I mean, I hope it will work out.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh, I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
I mean, you got us here.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up to the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
Alright, so right now, obviously, tensions are still rather high. We may have recruited the mages and stopped the interdimensional time threat, but things are still not smooth. And we are going to need to go try to close that breach. Hopefully doing that will put people less on edge and show them that we can actually work together. What do you think, Varric? You agree?
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How fast does it spread?
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We need to eliminate it.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I mean, honestly, we're just gonna plan for what's next.
We can't know what's coming. Best not to get too comfortable.
I can't disagree with that. But maybe you should try to relax while you can. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it.
Well, that's why I'm taking this moment.
To end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
That's why I'm taking this moment to go chat with all my companions before we get into the next world-saving task. And speaking of, I think we have one last companion to speak with, and that is Sarah. She should be in here in the tavern. Hello.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
You don't like mages?
Do you have a problem with our new allies? With mages?
No problem with mages. You're fine, right?
I hope so.
My problem is magic. If mages sat on their hands, everything would be fine. I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
Well, tell me more about your opinions about our allies.
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which, the ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
Oh, I can literally ask her what she thinks of every single one of our companions. Well, what do you think of my advisors?
What do you think about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair though.
Alright, that's good for now.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Alright, so I think that's all of our companions. Did I miss anybody? Josephine, Vivian, Liliana, Varric, Solus, Dorian, Sarah, Blackwell. No, that's everybody. Alright, so we've checked in with everybody. We've caught our breath here a bit. You know, one person we actually haven't spoken with, though. I haven't seen Fiona around. She should be around somewhere, do you think? Let's do one last lap and see if we can find her. Okay, so I've looked all over and I cannot find Fiona. I guess she's not out and about or ready to chat right now. One person I do want to see, though, is our Tevinter friend, who is apparently down here in the dungeons. So let's see if we can't chat with him here. He's not in that cell. You down here, man? Not in that cell. Not in that cell. Okay, it looks like I can't talk to Alexius either. Right now, they're like, Tiff, will you stop trying to find people to talk to? You need to go close the breach. So, we are getting the message loud and clear, game. We've spent our time catching our breath after that crazy last main quest, and when we get back next time, we will move forward with our main mission, which is, of course, trying to close that damn breach. Now, with the help of the mages, hopefully we will have enough firepower to do so. So hopefully this was a good episode to catch our breath and catch up with our companions, and hopefully I'll see you guys back here again real soon for some more action-packed Dragon Age Inquisition adventures.